And when you started Trail Sniffers, do you remember what it was like with your first client? Tell us about that.
I was so nervous on my days, honestly. I felt like I don't even know the experience that I could put it back to, but I was so confident. I'd spent like weeks before getting questionnaires filled out and knowing as much as I could about them before I rock up. And then I get there and that all just goes out the window. You just see the dog, you see the guardian, and they're just both struggling. I tried to do what Ian did for me on the first time, and that was just, let's just go sit down. Let's just sit down and we have a chat. Let's just bring it back to basics. Yeah, it's not me coming in telling you what you've done wrong. That's not what it is. I want you to feel safe and comfortable in your place.
Mhm.
And her face, and her dog was beautiful. He was quite reactive to unfamiliar people. So I said, look, we want it to be a safe space. Let's set him up outside, give him something to do. So he's busy. He's not feeling upset that I'm in his space. And then you and I can sit down and we can have a cup of tea and we can just talk. And there was just this sort of shock on her face because she had worked with a couple of trainers in the past. And the reason she reached out was mainly because she said, I saw your story about Jeffrey. I feel like you understand. And I think from that moment, it didn't matter the 10 hours of research I'd been doing or questions I'd been asking. It was just, this is what I wanted to be able to provide for them. And yeah, I think my consult with her ended up going for about 3.5 hours. It meant to be about 75 minutes initially. And
Yeah,
ended up just talking, and I got the best message at the end of the session. She goes, "Thank you. I feel like I'm heard, and I don't feel like I have done wrong by my dog." And I was like, "Perfect. That's exactly where we wanted to get to." So yeah, they definitely stick in my mind. And when people are like, "Oh, how did it come to fruition? And what was your first client like?" And yeah, she was definitely a remarkable first client, and he was the most beautiful boy. And she still sends me updates. Actually, gosh, I'm going to get teary. She still sends me text messages being like, "Look, we're out and about now, and he's sitting at the cafe," or we had someone come over and he was fine. He went and sat in his crate and chewed on
that's so cute.
something. Yeah, so that was really special. I think as a first client, it was a pretty remarkable place to start.
And sometimes even that extra time that you spend, while you didn't maybe get compensated for the extra 2 hours, you actually got compensated in experience, and it just shows you like that you can do it.
Yeah, at that point, I don't think, even money or finance was a driving factor. I think I was just so
Mm.
excited to sit and talk to her and feel like she could breathe a little bit more and at least even have a safe space to talk about it, not feeling like she was judged. I was like, yeah, that's why. And yeah, I remember coming home to Jeffrey actually. Mum and Dad always remind me about this. And I said to him, I said, thank you, because I was so nervous about how the first consult went. And I came back just beaming. And yeah, I just looked at him and I was like, we did it, kid. Like, this is it. This is what I wanted to do.
That's really cool, actually.